Good afternoon, class. So, my survey was about immigration status. So, the questions that that I asked was like, what is your current immigration status? How long have you lived in the United States? Then I also asked, like, what are your top three challenges you currently face in the US? And just like healthcare questions. So my survey questions were basically all circulating around basically what's going on right now with deportation and how immigrants are being treated, or people that are citizens of the US that are still getting deported and they have paid their taxes, or just a whole lot of unnecessary things. So for me, how I sent my survey out was actually through text and email change, because I felt like if I did it in person or went to door, I feel like people won't be as more comfortable or might be skeptical of me just because of what's going on in this world. So I think it was good for me that I was able to send it out through my sorority that I'm in, but also I did work in the healthcare field. I did know a lot of like nurses and CNAs and doctors that were immigrants or just new people that have felt a certain type of way. But a lot of people did fill it out, which I was greatly appreciated, and explained it was just for school assignment. So I think that was like good for me. But I think as I was like getting the results for my survey, I think the big thing that really did shock me was when some of the questions I had in there about programs about like mental health or free to low cost healthcare or discrimination or racism. And a lot of people actually, when they filled out their survey, were those were like the top ones, especially like the mental health. I was very surprised that was like my highest one, just because you don't hear a lot of people talk about mental health, but I also just feel like there's always not like enough resources, or we're still learning about mental health and trying to get those resources out there. But also I was still surprised that people are still being discriminated, and racism is like baffling to me. But I think those were like the hard ones to like really see, and like that's like the biggest issue that we're dealing with. But I think there's no like hard issues, and I'm glad like people are able to give like their answers. And my last question, I did have an open-ended question if anybody did want to give any other suggestions or something that's not asked about immigrants, but no one really filled it out. So I'm I feel like there was no like bad way to like how I experienced the survey, just because I know what's going on in the political world right now, that this was the easy way, and I'm glad that I was able to get some responses. And I hope everyone has a good day. And this is Kayla Brandon.